Can you please make sure that you put these in your calendar every week? Max is also going to do a midweek market scan this week at 8 p.m. Get these locked in your calendar. They really help to set us up for the week, and also obviously midweek keep us moving as we come into Friday, etc., etc. So make sure you're locked in. Put these in your calendar. Clear your schedule. Get on those calls. Also, big shout out for me. They've been great this week. Testament to how amazing this community is. Make sure you're also up bright and early on a Tuesday, Wednesday, and a Thursday. The main man, Mr. Stephen Fryer, doing coffee and charts, 6:30 a.m. sharp. It's been a nice early start for me all on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday this week. But absolutely amazing way to start the week. I just need to tell everybody, I'm sure you're already aware, but if you're new to this community, the value and the community that we get here is absolutely beyond words. It's absolutely changed my life. Trading is one thing, financial gain is another. But if you listen, you learn, you become a better version of yourself, the money has to follow. You are with the best. Mr. Max Bryant, Mr. Stephen Fryer, and the whole community in that trade house is absolutely on fire. So last week, let's do a little bit to talk about last week. Last week was an up and down week for me personally. Congratulations if you walked out of last week with profit. We had a slightly up and down week. I did personally, but that was mainly because I didn't get in that absolute banger of a sell that Max posted on Friday. My broker took me out right at the SL, and I was away from the computer as it took me out, so I didn't get a re-entry. If you got in that 310 pip sell on Friday, I know if I'd have got in that, I'd have been up in profit. But remember, this is a long-term game. We're here to take profits over the long term. I am still 45% up from where I was in January. Just make sure that you are managing your risk appropriately, because we are going to have ups and downs. Nobody wins all the time. And that was an absolutely mega trade on Friday from Max. So congratulations to everybody that got in that. Weeks like last week, it just emphasizes the importance of risk management. I've been speaking to Max today, and I just want to emphasize that point even further. We talk about risk management every week, and there's a reason, and I'm not making any excuses for mentioning risk management every single week. It's the key to long-term success. Yes, there are weeks you might go in there, you might over leverage, you might put a big trade in and you come out at the other end and a winner, but you have to give the market the respect that it deserves. One week you're a winner, the next week you go in the same market, you over leverage again, you give all that money back, and before you know it, you've either took a massive loss or you've blew your account. Please give the markets their respect, the respect that they deserve. Know exactly how much you are risking per trade. I know some of you probably trade the same lot size every trade. That's absolutely fine, but just make sure that you know exactly what that risk is. I adjust mine based on the SL. So obviously remember that the bigger the SL, the more your risk changes. So make sure you understand exactly what your risk is for every trade that you put in. And over the long term, with the quality of the education, with the guidance that we've got from Max, with the guidance we've got from Stephen, the online education, and the support that you're going to get from this community over the long term, as you learn, you will be profitable. Okay. I really hope everybody secured their tickets for next weekend. I absolutely cannot wait to be back nearly in my home city, 10 miles up the road in Birmingham. Cannot wait to see everybody there. Throw some fire in the chat if you are excited about Saturday, next Friday and Saturday. I can't wait to be there. It was at that event, the last event that we had before Christmas, where my trading journey really, really changed because of the input that I could get directly from Max Bryant and being in the room with them. So I can't wait to be able to see you all, and hope you all have an amazing time at the weekend, and I'll see you there because I expect all of you are going to be there. So get your accounts loaded, get your trading plan in place, make sure you understand your risk management for every trade that you're taking. Get on coffee and charts, 6:30 a.m. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Make sure you're ready for Wednesday in the evening for Max's midweek scan. And then can I just ask, last but not least, listen to the call tonight, take the advice, make notes, and can I last and finally, please ask that you give some appreciation, show some gratitude, show some love for the main man, Mr. Max Bryant, ready here tonight to be able to prepare us for the week. Max, are you there, buddy? Are you ready?
Hello, hello, hello. How we doing, man?
Good, man, you?
Yeah, all good, brother. All good, my man. Thank you very much, bro. Yeah,
You're
all good.
welcome, bro.
Have you had a good weekend, bro?
Yeah, man, good, good. Busy, actually. Yeah, but good.
Yeah. Good man, good man. Hope we're all doing very well, guys. Hope everyone's had a nice weekend. I've just had a lovely Sunday roast, as you do on the Sundays. Come on. So I'm all set to go. Just want to say and obviously touch up on what Alex has said. Obviously, risk management, guys. I'll get down your throat. So as you know, obviously it was a rocky week. The markets were doing some mad moves. They were moving up like towards 200 pips a move. And to be able to trade in that condition and find a route, it does get quite hard. So this is why, and we'll say again, risk management is super important. We have to keep things equal. We have to just keep it the same, and then we will be winning. Obviously, that trade, what we managed to get on Friday was obviously, as Alex said, it was a banger, and we managed to obviously collect up all the losses and obviously gain even more through that trade. So that's why it's so important, guys. You have to be very disciplined. I know we all obviously want to put Lambo lots on and make as much money as we can straight away, but that's the way the market runs. They know this. They know everybody wants to obviously make as much money, so they do these moves. Obviously, with us, we have to be disciplined. We have to expect this. We take the loss as it is, and then we just hunt again and we keep going until we get on the moves. So right now we finally found some structure, I believe. I'm going to dive in and we'll start having a look. Can you let me know if you can see my screen? Oh, do you want to give me a thumbs up to see that, bro? Yeah, cool, awesome, guys, wicked. Let's make this a bit bigger. Right, I'm going to start this up very nice and quite easy. Again, this weekly channel, what I've been showing you guys for a few weeks now, this is seriously coming into play, what I think so anyway. So what we can see, obviously, this top tier trend, guys, it's a very solid trend. We've obviously respected it a fair few times in the past. We did break out and we did obviously come back into the trend and had a very drastic sell-off. So what we want to be seeing really, and this is going to be my plan, is something along the lines of basically having a sell-off at the top and basically coming down to the bottom of this trend. Also, what we do have, guys, you've got to think about the EMAs. The EMAs has been a massive role in gold so far with its upwards movement. Okay, so we can see in this channel, it's respecting this the 20 EMA quite a lot. Okay, it's running up. It didn't have to touch it, but it's respecting it. It's not breaking it, and it's liking to come near it and push off. What we can see at the top, we have actually broke it, but the body close was straight above, which is a very good sign. It was a very bullish push off. Prop that move there. That's a mega move straight off that EMA. Let's actually have a measure on what that is. 15,000. It's a 1,500 pips. So yeah, 1,500 pips in 1 week on a one straight move. If you manage to obviously get that on that EMA and on that trend line, you'd be laughing. So idea is really for us to come back down and start coming on this trend line and look where the EMA is. A goal would be to come down, and if that EMA is obviously inside of that trend, it would probably respect the EMA more than the trend. Or if it did break it, it might wick onto this trend and then come back in and close the body above it. That's going to be my game. I've had this plan in motion for a few weeks, and this is what I've been looking for. I'll be honest, I didn't expect them to push this wick so far out of this channel. A lot of people would have been caught up here on buys because where it's obviously started going, a lot of people have 3 grand in mind, which is very possible. Don't get me wrong. But at the moment, I don't see it happening just yet. I would like this obviously to come back down, take a lot of liquidity out of this market because all these buys, man, this is a straight flush. There was not even one blue candle in this, and that's nearly 2 months worth. So we are due a sell-off. It'd be nice to see a blue candle on the weekly chart. So if we can obviously get in and basically attack this while we're hot and while we're at the top, we're going to be ideally in a good situation for it to come back down to the bottom. So this is what and where I gauge where this could end if we did start seeing a sell-off. I'll grab the Fibonacci out. We'll go to the top of the high point where we've been. You guys will hear me say this a lot. The 61% retracement is an absolute ideal zone for me and for us obviously to get back into a market if we're out, or it's going to be a goal set if we're going to ride down into the market. So there's going to be 3 factors at that trend line. We obviously have the 61, we have the trend itself, and we're probably going to have that 20 EMA riding up very closely. So that's 3 factors I'd like to see happen. That would probably respect them quite nicely if we did come down. But at the end of the day, it's just speculation, guys. People do have 3 grand in mind, and it could just absolutely rocket off. But What we have to do now is go and look closer into the market and find basically what is going on around us. Okay, so let's put you down at the bottom. Expand this out. Oh, if I can, if it's going to let me. Okay, so there's our sale yesterday. Obviously on Friday there. I'll just probably touch up on that. Managed to obviously just get a nice entry in as well. I say a nice entry. A few of you guys got stopped out. Obviously, it was very close. They edged us. We did have obviously the stop loss at 2,940. Unfortunately, they hunted for the basically liquidity on this. What I will do, guys, is actually run into this. It is quite a clear setup, and they did have our pants down on this. We sold possibly a little bit too early. Let me just show you this reversal pattern. You'll hear me talk about this reversal pattern quite a lot, guys. It's basically that double top with that third touch going for the triple top. They break it and then it'll come back in and drop price. Okay, so this is exactly what it done. We actually sold. I think we sold on this. Where was it? I think we sold down here. Yeah, because we basically broke the trend line. And then they obviously pushed us back up. So this is what the reversal pattern was, and this is why I actually kind of knew we'd still be all right, and I knew it was going to drop. Okay, so this is what you want to be looking for if you're going to be looking for reversal pattern. Okay, so he went for the double top, they went for the triple top, okay, and then they pushed price past, done the liquidation mode, and then bang, straight down with hesitation, and that was the beginning of the sell-off. Okay, so that reversal pattern is very strong, guys. As I keep saying, if you see that around the board, possibly do switch up your analysis and go for the opposite direction, because if you start seeing this around the board, it does reverse. That's just a personal thing I've been seeing across. That's just obviously 8 years looking at the market. Triple tops really don't exist anymore. They will go for that third one and they will take liquidity out the market, you know. So unfortunately, I spoke to you guys a few times. We didn't actually hit 2,940. It was very, very close. It was 2,939.97. So it was like it was still half a pip pretty much off hitting stop losses, but the brokerage with spreads, they can obviously excel that. And it was just an unfortunate thing. But we did get in a retest, and we did obviously get that sell back in. I think it was a trend line I had running somewhere around here. Just a rough guide, but basically we broke it, we came back in, and we broke it again on this retest here, and that's when I told you guys to get back into the market, was on this retest, and then there was a lovely re-entry to get back in, and managed to obviously collect around 310 pips, I think it was. But obviously with these with these kind of trades, guys, this is why I did say maybe if you're running a couple or multiple positions, we want to let one at least ride, because it did actually turn into a monster. And we could obviously hold this for a swing trade. As I said, obviously on the weekly, my idea now is for this to absolutely have a big sell-off, and come down to this trend. You know, if we can obviously gauge that, and really we did obviously get in a sell-off at the top, it's 2,200 pips. You know, it's a mega swing trade. This is what I like to do, and this is like the kind of entries I like to get. The top of the pivotal point, you know, when things start to pivot, we want to be getting involved. So what we want to do now really is look into the market. We really want to zoom in. We want to see structure, and we want to know where we can get into this market for the resell off. Let's drop that out of the way now, because we are not in that. Let's get rid of all these lines. Let's have an absolute fresh draw up. Let's do some artwork, as I like to say. So what are we going to be looking for? Ideally, we want to be aiming for an FEG gap. Recent here actually sent me a nice bit of analysis the other day, and he was bang on. So I'm very impressed with that, Reese, if you're there, buddy. Give yourself a pat on the back. That was phenomenal. So this is what he actually sent me, and he's bang on. There's an FEG gap on the motion we created on the way down. The FEG gap is here. Ideally for us, let me actually just finish drawing some stuff out, guys, because I did have a pre-analysis on here. We want to be looking at areas for support, basically, for this to bounce off, okay, which we've found. So oh, sorry, guys, someone's trying to come in. Let's change that into a green. This is going to be our support. So we're above the 200 EMA. We did break it. The body candle's basically stuck above it, and we did close above. So that's a good sign for us to have a nice bounce off on this support as well, and come and aim for this FEG gap. Let's see if I can draw this out. It will look something like this, and then drawing back out, and then a big sell off down to the bottom. Um, what I did have drawn out, okay, I don't know if you guys will be able to see this yourself. You might not be able to, but it is called a bat harmonic. Okay, so if I draw that out there, we draw a harmonic out, and then with this harmonic, so it's created a double top. Okay, once you've basically finished the harmonic, so if this is the finishing point and it starts to pivot up, we would like to see a 38 to obviously a 50% retracement upwards, and then it would carry on with its motion coming down. So let's give this a little measure. So we go from the top down to the bottom, go right on a wick, and the 38% retracement is pretty much near enough on that trend line. Okay, so what we want to look at ideally, if we go back onto the weekly and we zoom into the market, oh my God, trying to do it too fast on the mouse pad, things go wrong. Let's zoom out. So I'm going to delete all this again. So what we want to do, we got a picture this now in our minds. Where we look at filling the gap, you see where we came back into the market and we had this weekly closure, okay, this shooting star. Look what price done when it opened up. This weekly candle obviously opened up and had a bullish momentum and wicked underneath the supporting trend line. Okay, so we got to visualize this and basically have a picture in our head for the next candle wick. So if we open up, ideally, we want to see a wick on the next weekly candle come in and ideally fill the gap into this trend line and have a support on the trend line. Well, it's resistance either, but grab some resistance on the reserve on that trend line and then continue with the sell. What we've got to think about, there is still obviously liquidity in this market, so they might push it into that FEG gap and then create the sell-off. And then I'd really, really like to see a blue candle for once because it has been a long time. Once this blue candle comes in motion, and if it does, guys, it's going to come with a lot of volume. A lot of people are going to be taking out their positions. So let's go back onto the hourly. And we'll go back and see really what can happen. So as I'm saying, with that Fibonacci, the bat, we can obviously grab the fib out again, the harmonic even, and then grab the fib out, and then really the 32% is 2,900. Ideally, if it did come up, I would like to get a couple of entries on this. So you're gonna have to play this with risk management. If we come up and we start supporting on this trend line, I would like to get an entry. Okay, just a little one. Because if it starts riding down, then we've got a top entry on it because it will support that. But as I'm saying, there is liquidity above it. There is this FEG gap, what they might try and target just to take out. And there is obviously the golden pocket zone above that. So they might be a bit cheeky. They might try and start to push this quite a lot, take out a bit of liquidity out the market. And then we want to basically execute and get into these sales, guys, because I really do think gold's going to have a big sell-off. I know everyone's got a lot of plans and like for 3,000, but after big major volume buys like what we've had, guys, and a lot of volume's just been going straight up, they need to have a sell-off. Guys are going to want to take their profits. You know, you've got all the institutions probably on millions and millions and millions and millions right now, profit-wise. So they're going to want to try and flush. They'll probably try and flush this, take everything out, get some shorts on. And as I said, a nice trade down this trend line, you know. As I said, that's 68% down there. We've got the 20 you made down there. And there's going to be some other catalysts coming out, I'd imagine. So that is the plan, guys. We're just going to have to be patient, let this market play out. And yeah, if we start bouncing, guys, get prepared to get some big sales in. Don't do Lambo lots because it's still going to be volatile. But once we start moving, okay, and we start to create structure, and we can create some lower lows, we create some higher highs. Once we create these higher highs and get a channel, we can obviously start pinpointing where we need to do some like bigger trades. And I will let you guys know that if I'm pretty sure that obviously we're on a channel and we've made a supporting channel. You know, I will tell you this is like a less risk, you know, and a more reward trade. So let's just stay safe for once, guys, and then keep us in a safe place. Stay disciplined in the market as always. Stick to risk management. I have got a nice little picture what Alex has drawn up, and I'm sure Alex has still got it on his side. If we pop up and we can obviously look at the risk management plan, it's off £1,000 account, and you can really start to gauge where and how you need to be obviously placing these trades, guys, in the proper way, you know. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. That's going to be the trade plan. Yeah, and we'll just have to see how we go, guys. See how it plays out. Have we got any questions? Let's do some
Yes,
Q and
man.
A's.
I got a
Yes,
question.
Tommy. Yes, Tommy, bro.
Yeah, man. Is that over there a double bottom?
Where you looking here?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
you could definitely class it. You could see that as a double bottom, but there's not much to go off that, bro, because obviously we haven't created
Oh,
the upward structure. Um, that's
okay.
just one candle. It could be a drop base drop. You don't know how
Oh,
it's
okay.
gonna play. Yeah, you don't know how that's gonna play out just yet, buddy. So I wouldn't put confirmation on that to say that's a double bottom yet.
Okay.
Um, it could start creating like let's actually draw this out. It could start doing like a rising wedge, okay, and it could look something like this. I did have this in the mind before, okay, and price could bounce around in this. We've got the bottom trend here. This could actually generally start like forming out, and we could just bounce here for a while until we found an area, and then we'd have to see how it broke out. If it broke out on the top, then ideally some buys on the retest. Or if we break out on the bottom, again, a retest on the bottom, the supporting bottom, and then getting the sells. But ideally, what I've shown you guys is the best play. I do think that Homonic's a bit stronger than the trend we've got, obviously that wedge. So that Homonic should be quite nice. If it starts obviously retracing to the 38% would be quite nice as well to get some sales off. But ideally, getting in that FEG gap and a big slam off, that's going to be my play anyway. But yeah,
Right.
man. Anyone else, guys? Don't be
Yeah,
scared.
Max. Yeah, Max. Can I ask a quick one?
Yes, brother.
Um, I'll drop there. First of all, I'll drop that risk management thing for the £1,000 account in the chat in a sec.
Thank you very much.
And then the next one is, because I know that trade took a few people out because of the spread on the broker. Should we be accommodating that spread?
Um, after that trade, I might actually just put that in consideration now because I don't know how tight your spreads are. Really, that probably shouldn't have taken you guys out. Let's actually have a look, and let's actually see
And I
that
mean,
top.
it was literally a fraction. I think it
It
came up
was,
to
yeah.
yeah, it came up to something like 40.002, something like that.
Yeah, so that's on the brokerage. So that's what I've got. What I've got on here, guys, is that's the top of the wick, you see, and that's 2939.957. So it's half a pip off from obviously stopping you guys out and hitting the stop loss. That's what we call an edge. They basically edge to stop. If you're on raw spreads, that probably shouldn't have taken you out, but obviously depending on what kind of accounts we're on, yeah, that obviously has a play. So to your question, I might actually put that in consideration and just basically if I say put a stop loss at, let's say 240 again, do it to 240.5, let's say, and just take that spread in consideration. And then hopefully next time it won't obviously stop you out.
Yeah,
It's just unfortunate.
it
Yeah,
took my entry out at 2940.02.
right. Point two, 0.02.
0.02, yeah.
Bloody hell, man. That's it's ridiculous. It's just very unfortunate, man. It's just saying what happens, guys. We could obviously run a bigger stop. We probably could have definitely run a bigger stop, but we're at all time high. What we don't want to be doing is doing a stop loss 100 pips up and then just go and just absolutely blow everyone out. Because it
I
can
guess
happen.
if I guess like if you put like 2940 in as a stop loss, if we were to put 2940.05, for example, it would
Yeah.
compensate for that, wouldn't it?
Absolutely, and yeah, you would have been fine. Even probably doing a 0.01, it probably would have been fine. It was literally, yeah, it was on the line really, bro. It's just as I
Yeah.
said, it's just very unfortunate. It is what it is. But we're in a good position to get back that and a lot more. If we continue with this trade plan, as I said, I've had this in motion for a long time. I've wanted them to obviously push a lot of liquidity out the market. They have. Now we know that liquidity is out and we're back under this trend line. Now we want to be looking at some big sells, and getting some big entries. So that is it. That's all from me, guys. I don't know if Elliot's got anything for you guys. But yeah, is anyone putting any questions in the chat box? I haven't got that loaded up. Are we all good?
Yeah, I have one, Max.
Yeah, hello, my man.
Yes, man. And thanks so much for this. So, in terms of like stop loss, people just think that you randomly guess stop losses, but you don't, do you? They're actually, that's why there's a reason why they're there, because I've noticed with most of the professionals, they put a stop loss because it's there for a purpose. They're not just guessing where to protect your capital. That's the point where the price can turn around. Is that right?
Absolutely, brother. I try and be everything I do is calculated.
Yeah.
I've learned obviously I'm not good with numbers. Don't get me wrong. But I'm good at gauging where things are going to be going and where the turnaround points are. That's me just being a trader and looking at the market, seeing how structure moves. Obviously, if they do a liquidity push, which is too much, then price will carry on going because you've broken structure. With that pattern there, as I said, and I've drawn out, and I've shown you guys many, many, many times this reversal pattern. I had a feeling they could push this up and do this, and that's why I gauged this. Let me just zoom in. You can see it clear as day there, guys. And the more you trade, the more you will see this. So I want to let you guys know, because this isn't in the books anywhere. You won't see this anywhere. Nothing will actually talk about this pattern, and nothing will actually explain to you guys what this pattern means. So as I'm saying, people are getting caught out every single time on this. They go for the triple top, and that fake out is exactly what I was looking for. But they did break structure on the bottom side. So we got in a bit early. So if you run where we did obviously initially sell, I think it was on this motion here. I had a feeling. So I did draw this line out. So I drew this trend line out. Okay. And then I was looking at where they could have possibly pushed this up to. And let's put 240 on there. So it was pretty much there. Obviously, I was looking at that. And just from being on the market multiple times and seeing this stuff, man, like I know it's quite hard to explain, mate, because it's just being in the market, but you start to gauge how far they're going to push things. Obviously, if they started to push that more, it would have carried on. But where they'd only just basically done the wick and it came back out and then it quickly done like a nice body candle closed underneath again, I knew we were fine, But that's the answer to your question. Sometimes you can't explain things, man, in this market, as hard as you want
I
to.
suppose, yeah. I suppose
Yeah,
a lot of the time, like with the psychology of trading, like your entry, a lot of the time you think, right, if you have the psychology of my entry is going to be probably my stop loss,
yes,
and then kind of like take that extra risk where sometimes you might not get in, but you
yeah.
get a much like better entry in a way.
Yeah, so I was
So
going to start telling you guys to sell on this, but I just wanted to see how it played out, and it did obviously come back out, and that's when I knew that re-entry was super super clean, and I knew that would have been okay because once you see that pattern, the reversal's on. It will reverse and it will literally come in with some volume. I don't know what it is, but I'm sure the institutions and the banks know this pattern, and they are creating this, and they're getting in as soon as they do that liquidation sweep. They're coming in. And what we saw was the biggest sell-off we've seen in a long time. It hasn't created that for a while. We really, really did give it legs. We came out super, super early. Where did we actually come out, guys? We came out of 300 pips. It was bang on. So there you go. So we came out at like 2904 maybe. I think it was a bit higher actually. Did we not come out a bit higher? I think it was like 2908 maybe. So as you see, and that's why as I said, you kind of want to be like letting at least one trade kind of like ride on these entries when we're up at our all-time highs, or if we're down at the gully bottoms. We want to be letting at least one trade ride. I had Elliot sent me. He sent me a photo of one of the educators with GFU. I think he's quite a young lad. He put a 0.01 on. I think he put two of them on, and he's rid this up to like 3,000 pips. And just a 0.01 is on $700. You know, just from doing the swing trade and just holding it. I think it's 50 grand riding in this trade, you know. So it just shows you once you hold on to a trade and you know the general direction and where it's going, you seriously can accumulate a lot of money. But it's the greed of basically wanting to like make as much money as possible and just holding on to trades what aren't good. But once you know you are in a good one, guys, as I'm saying, I like to hold a good trade. So that was a bit, as I said, it's a bit unfortunate. A few of you got stopped out with that. But as I said, we got into the re-entries, man, and this is the plan now. So let's just see how we open up, guys, and yeah, if we come back up, get ready for a nice little week with sales, man. Definitely. Are we all good, guys? Is everyone happy?
Yo, Max,
Yo,
it's Bailey, bro. You good?
yes, Bailey, how we doing, bro?
Yeah, mate, chilling. Sorry, I'm just looking at the 4 hour chart.
Yes, come on.
So he goes to the 4 hour, please.
Yes, brother.
Would you say that's looking like a double top?
Double
Or is
top.
it?
That's what exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is,
I
isn't
would
it?
say
Yeah.
that's. Yeah,
It's
definitely.
not too choppy for a double top, is it?
No, that's what I'm going for. So, I don't. Have you just come in? Have you just come in? Have you?
No. I've been here for the last like 10 minutes. But what I'm saying,
Okay, so yeah, two
so
seconds. I'll
you go on.
I'll draw out what I've been showing these guys just a minute ago. I did just have this up. Let me get rid of this video, guys. So there's a harmonic there, brother. Oh, where's it gone? Bear with. There she be. So we go from the bottom point. Obviously, let me draw the harmonic out.
Yeah.
Which is a double top harmonic. You know, this is called a bat. So
Yeah.
if we've completed it,
So are those numbers lining up? Are they?
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we have completed this and it does create support and we start bouncing off, obviously what we do with the harmonics is that we ideally want to be getting a 38% retracement
Yeah.
and then buys from the bottom of the harmonic buy up. So our buy entries, obviously, if it does start going up, you guys can obviously, if you want to, get in yourself
Okay.
and do some trades. But ideally sells off in this FEG
Because
gap, brother.
what I'm kind of looking at is obviously you've got the double top, and on the 4 hour it kind of looks like it's breaking trend. It's trying to, you know what I mean?
Yes, definitely.
So are you expecting it to
Definitely.
retest that trend line and sink?
Yeah, so if literally, bro, this is what I've got. Obviously, if you follow
Yeah.
that arrow, that's basically where I'm going to be getting. There is obviously that trend line liquidity, what I'd like to take out. If we go on to this weekly, then what I want to be seeing,
Yeah, I was looking at the
then
weekly a minute ago. It's looking like it's going to try and retrace a bit,
it's
isn't
it's
it?
gonna, yeah. So exactly that, bro. If we look back in the past and see that other shooting star candle, okay, so
Yeah.
it's came in and it's closed when we're
Yeah.
in. Candle
We've got a
obviously
hammer
came
candle
up.
this week, haven't we?
Yeah, so no,
Yeah.
that's not a hammer. It's
It's
still
not.
shooting star, that, bro. That's shooting star.
Oh, is it? Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah. Hammers are the other way.
Oh, is it? Okay.
They're like, yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
fair play.
that.
Sound.
That's a hammer. The other one's obviously a shooting star. So a nice, basically blue candle to open up with. It's obviously going to be grey because it's going to have a
Yeah.
push. But I'd like to fill this area. So this
Yeah.
grey area, I want to see a wick in here, bro. Of either taking that trend line or taking that FEG gap and then getting in that big sell.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
sound.
that's gonna be the plan, bro. Yeah,
I think I'm just going to
and
wait
then
out a
basically
couple of days.
and then take this trend line really, bro. Because if you as I've shown a few guys already, but if we draw that back out, you know, 68% there, we've got the 20 EMA and we've got the trend line, so that'd be a nice
Yeah,
pivotal point for us to get back in the buys.
fair enough.
Yeah, hope you're all
I'm
good,
good,
man.
mate. Yeah, all good, bro. Yeah.
Nice one.
Safe,
But yeah,
but
guys,
see you
that's
soon.
yeah, that's basically going to confirm that, guys. Obviously, we start obviously coming out, nice week into there, and then we're getting the sales. Cool. I hope everyone's had a nice weekend. I hope everyone has a nice evening and carries on. But yeah, I will speak to you very soon. I'm completely done here. Elliot, are you all good, man? Do you want to say anything?
No, amazing. Just let's put some fire in the chat for Mr. Maxwell Bryan. We appreciate you, brother, and thank you for opening up, brother. Mr. Alex Reynolds as well. Excited for what's ahead. Really am. Let's keep moving. Let's keep grooving. The best is yet to come, and obviously we've got events, guys. So we're looking forward to seeing Max and everyone at the events, and just keep charging forward, man. Tradehouse is just the very beginning, man. So I'm excited for what's ahead. I appreciate you, Alex and Max. Thank you for everything you do, man. Appreciate you.
No worries, man.